So you want to go, you want to travel all over the world. You want to hop on planes, be a trendy jet setter, but you're broke. You want to go to Paris, Madrid, you want to go to Barcelona, Germany, all these places, but you are broke. Your pockets is empty. Your pockets look like this. Your pockets is empty. You have no money. You're broke. You're broke. How can I do this? It's actually very, very common. A lot of people have dreams of traveling. I'm willing to say like 80% of people I meet say they want to travel. It's rare to meet somebody say they don't want to travel. Everybody wants to travel and see the world, right? Right? I mean, I have notes here just so I know, keep on track. The first thing I want to let you know about traveling, if you're broke, is you want to play the long game. If you're rich, you can travel fast. You can wake up tomorrow and go. That wouldn't be an issue. But if you're broke, like the rest of us, you want to travel between 3 and 5 months out. Like, traveling doesn't have to be super expensive. There's a lot of, you can travel almost anywhere in Europe or South America. I would say $1,000 would be a lot of money to have saved up for a trip. That's way too much money, actually, to have spent. I'd say at the most about $800 to get you, well above, a week's vacation. Right? When you're traveling, your main concerns, your big ticket items are going to be, of course, your plane ticket, probably number one. Their hacks are getting plane tickets. Plane tickets are not that expensive these days. More and more people are flying. I don't know why people are spending so much money for plane tickets. After that's going to be your stay. And there are hacks around this, which I'm going to give you. Hotels. Do not stay in a hotel. All right. Like I said, your main concerns are going to be where am I going to stay, how I'm going to get there. One thing we need to clear up is just misconception between traveling and vacations. When you're taking a vacation, that is in comfort. You want a break, a reprieve from work. Work is stressing you out and you just want a break. When you stay in a hotel, you get good food and you relax because you got to go back to work. You're 9 to 5. That's what a vacation is. Traveling is different. It's the experience. Much more meaningful than a vacation. Traveling is when you want to see, you want to do, you want to take pictures, you want to interact, be a part of wherever you're going to be at. That's what traveling is. If you have these notions of you staying in some hotel, access to, the normal amenities that you have at home, just get those out of your head. That's not what traveling is. It's slightly inconvenient. It's going to smell sometimes. You're going to be in some weird positions, some weird spots you wouldn't normally find yourself in. But I'd argue that it's probably one of the most meaningful things that you can do in your life is to go out and see the world and see what the world has to offer. Don't stay in one corner of the world. The world's a huge place. So let's get into it. The number one tip that I would say about traveling poorly is get on Tinder. Get on Tinder. I'm not lying. Tinder might be your saving grace. Like, you may think of Tinder like, okay, I'm going to hook up on Tinder, but like, why you got to hook up? Why can't you just be friends with people on Tinder? There is a good investment on Tinder is the Tinder Gold. This is not an ad. They're not paying you to do this, of course. Tinder Gold allows you to change your location from where you are to where you want to be. Let's say you live in New York. You can move your Tinder so that it will find people in Paris. People in Paris will see you, so you're going to match people in different countries. That's the goal. You want to know people in the countries. That's what Tinder does. Is get you a foot in the door before you actually get to that country. That is invaluable. That is the number one tip. If you got a boyfriend, you got a girlfriend, they don't want you on Tinder, what you want to do is when you make a Tinder, don't put like your creepy bio. not here, like here for a good time, not a long time, you know, hot and spicy, or, you know, come and get it. No, you want like something like very simple, like I'm a traveler, I'm just here to meet friends, see what we can do when I'm in your area, or maybe slightly less creepy. That's what I would bet. I should change that. I'm going to change that. Whatever I just do, don't, hey, whatever. Let's say you have like a really, really particular boyfriend or girlfriend who would flip if they knew you were on Tinder. Go on Instagram, look up the location tag for where you want to be. Let's say you want to go to Budapest, okay? Well, type in, look up areas in Budapest on Google. Do a quick Google search. You can see what's on Budapest. Then on Instagram. And then what'll pop up is all these nice little things. And every post is actually a person, right? So you go, you click on it, this person's in Budapest. Find people who actually live there, who are staying there. Message them like, hey, I'm going to be in, like you can do people who are like in the area of Budapest or like wherever you want to be, and then you find them. You say some message like I would probably say like 25 to 25 different people, and just say, hey, cool, I'm actually coming to your area soon. What do you recommend I do while I'm there? That's a way in. Ideal before you get there, you want to know at least you want to be in contact with 3 people, and these people you want to, you know, build friendship with. People outside of the states are very friendly. It's only like an in-state thing that we are. People outside of America are very friendly. They're very open. They're very genuine. Make your intentions clear. You know, I'm coming over to the country. I don't know anybody. It would be nice, you know, when I come over, maybe you show me around. Awesome. Go out for drinks. It's a big thing. Go out for drinks. Keep in contact with these people regularly. You don't have to make it too crazy. My thing with soccer, I met a lot of soccer people over there. Of course, the whole world. Just keep in contact with these people. That way, when you get there, it's just like you're meeting like an old pen pal, an old friend. Things are a lot smoother. Tip number 2, you got to have money saved up. It's not free. It's not going to be free. You can make this as inexpensive as possible. 2 or 3 months. Save up a little bit from each paycheck, about $50 to $55 from every paycheck that you get, and put that into just a fund. Put it to the side for your plane ticket. Just don't touch it. That's going to be your plane ticket. And whatever you have left at the end of that 3 months, that's where you're going to use as your budget for buying a plane ticket. That's going to determine where you can go. So you might not be able to go to Sydney, of course, but you can definitely get to Paris, Barcelona, Madrid, London, most of Europe actually, South America, Canada, Central America, the islands if you want to go to like Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, the French islands, the Caribbean, Jamaica, easily for $350. That's on the high end. All right, you're going to be fine in economy, that's fine, but you're going to have the ticket. You want to use a bunch of different services. I recommend Skyscanner. You put in where you are, where you're going, and then there's a section where you can put the date, put that as the whole month. Like, and it have like green, yellow, like color coded. So green is like really cheap, yellow, average, red is really high. Look at the prices that are in green. And you say, okay, like the 12th, the 15th, blah, 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 all these days are in green. You click it, and you want like a 4 or 5 day vacation. So you bought your plane ticket, you know where you're going. Your bank account's probably at 0 again. So you book a flight for 2 months out. Now from the time that you buy your plane ticket to the date of your departure, you want to just save up what you can. Nothing crazy, like I said. About $350, between $350 if you're really trying to go crazy, $600, and you're good. And this is going to cover your food, your stay, activities, transportation, all that. So this is the part that I always get a lot of flack for. When you travel, you are going to live modestly. This is not a vacation. You will not be in the Marriott, the Sheraton, wherever you can think of. You're not going to be there. You're going to be living. You're going to be living not terrible, but not great. Okay, those are just facts. I mean, if you're okay with packing light, not having the like huge American portions of meal, cutting corners where you can. Usually produce is always cheap. If you're okay with eating like vegetarian or vegan for a day or two. When you book your flight, two things. You want to leave during the week, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's when you want to leave. A lot of people fly out, of course, during the weekends. Friday, Saturday, Sundays when they fly out. Mondays and Fridays are just kind of too close to there. You want to be in that sweet spot, right there. That's where you want to be, right there. Another thing to reduce the cost of flights is leave from a hub. If you're up and down the East Coast of America, that's gonna be really easy. You pick Miami, JFK, easy. If you're in the South, you want to shoot for like Dallas. If you're up north, maybe like Seattle. LAX, also these are like huge hubs locations. Maybe even DC, but if you're DC, just shoot up to JFK. Like I live in Philly. We have an international airport in Philly, but it's not easy for me to spend $5 on a bus that goes to New York rather than spending an extra, $150 on a plane ticket from here. So I mean, it adds an extra 2 hours, but this is what I mean by living modestly. You're broke. You have no money. All right. So wherever you can save, you want to grab it. You want to grab it. At this point, you've made your friend. You're on Tinder, so you've made friends. Hopefully, you have about 2 or 3 friends. In this time, you want to build a certain rapport to these friends, where you can say, "Hey, I'm coming into your cities. Is it okay if you can you host me for a night?" Usually, if you're gonna get hosted for like your first and your last night, that's probably what I would shoot for. Next tip is actually stay. You want to stay in. There's options for this where you want to stay at. Hosting is obviously number one because that's free. You're staying in someone else's apartment. You're in with the locals. You're blending in. That's money. You're gold. If hosting isn't an option, either for any reasons, either you're not traveling alone or you haven't made the proper connections with people, what I would suggest is a hostel. It's not a hotel, it's a hostel. It's more like a college dorm room full of just people who people who travel, and they just like get a bag and they just go. It's not meant for luxury, it's meant for people who need to put their bags down, need a bed to sleep on while they're out. That's what this is. And these are like co-ed places. These are small, confined places. You want to find that mix of hostels that have a mix of some sort of comfort. Wi-Fi is going to be huge. That's near where you're staying at. Hostels, look them up in your area. You want to find at least 2 or 3. Hostels can range, the good hostels, well, the ones I would stay at, not the really expensive ones, not the dirt poor cheap ones, anywhere between $11 and $18, well, between $11 and $25 a night. 25 is a lot. Between $11 and $20 a night will get you like a great hostel. These hostels have like cool things to do. Like usually like you go there and they have like group areas where they have people go out as a group. Like you go to New York and you're not just going to see like the Eiffel Tower. You're going to New York and you're going to like John's Pizza Place. Like you're seeing New York with the locals. If you get nothing else from this stay portion, do not stay in a hotel. Do not stay in a hotel. Hotels are expensive. Food, you have to eat while you're there. That's a given. You're going to eat in like what would be equivalent to here is like Chipotle. Okay, maybe like because there aren't many like you can find fast food places everywhere, but you want to go like find places that have like buffets. But for breakfast, it depends on how you eat. Like me, I like to have a light breakfast, a big lunch, moderate dinner. So for breakfast, I'm perfectly okay with eating like fruit, granola bars, peanut butter crackers. These are things you can buy while you're there relatively cheaply. Always try to find like a buffet spot where you can spend like $20 so you can eat your fill. If you can't do that, then if you're going to splurge on anything, you can splurge on food. You can get by on food. $40 a day will get you food for the day. Think about that here, what you can do with $40 a day. Let's say you have $40 a day in America. You wake up, Dunkin' Donuts, and you spend maybe like $12. Lunchtime comes, you go get Chipotle. That's like another $10, $12, and then you're at $22. Dinner comes, let's say you want to go to get like a 2 for $20 at like Fridays or Chili's. Who has a 2 for $22? Chili's, and you're about $40 and you've eaten out for a whole day. You haven't cooked anything. If you're hosting, if you have a hostel as a kitchen, go get some produce, come back, and you can cook that. Transportation while you're out, taxis are a no, Ubers are a no. I think that's the biggest thing I see people take, taxis and Ubers. Do not take a taxi or an Uber, ride share. Public transportation will save you so much in the end. If you're going to a city, you want to use public transportation. If you're going to like a more rural area, rural, a not urban area, then you obviously wouldn't be roaming around that much unless you know somebody there who has a car, which is anybody. I know in a lot of places in Western Europe, they have like it's like a ride pass. You can get maybe like 30 rides on public transportation for about $20. Public transportation, key. As far as this whole stay thing is, there's ways you can go about this. If you're traveling by yourself, you want to be hosted or you want a hostel. If you're going in a group, Airbnb might be a good way to go. You can get a group rate for Airbnb, 4 days. It might come to about $10 a night from your end, and you're in a much better location than a hostel. You have like a shower and a bath. So go, figure out if you're going solo or in a group. Solo, you don't have to plan with anybody. It's not easy to just pick up and go. But of course, you're solo. You have all these expenses for yourself. In a group, it's a lot harder to mobilize a group. It can be done, but it's a lot harder to mobilize a group. I don't usually travel in a group. I usually travel by myself. And besides, when you're at the hostel, you meet people. If you're getting hosted, that person has friends. You will meet them if you go out for drinks. Be very friendly. That's actually the meat of it. If you're traveling, you can do this. If you can save up about $600, $700 in the course of 5 or 6 months, then you can have a really quality vacation for about a week. Easily, very easily. I'm sure there's things I've missed. I'm sure, if you're watching this and you have any questions, just drop them down below. I'll make sure to answer them in subsequent videos, because this is going to be a thing now. Feel free to, come at me, hit me up. I'm on, email me on here. You can find me on Instagram. I'm not really on Twitter, but if you have an Instagram, feel free to me on there. I'm on Snapchat too. Just find me. Give me your questions. I want to know what you guys have questions about traveling, and I'm here to help. Yeah, besides that, peace.